Oren Jelinas, number 87, gets the start. Luke Stout, injured, hasn't played since Syracuse. Was dressed and was getting some action this week is what we were told, Jules, so we'll see if he ever gets in the game here today.
Here we go.
Callahan winning the faceoff. Other than that, he has been outstanding, under 7 goals a game given up on average this season. Chuck Rawson's got it for Johns Hopkins. They swing it around, and a shot on the wing and a save from Fyock, that time from Matt Collison. Jack McKenna on the shot, and closest to it there was Haas, and Ohio State retains possession. Into the middle, shot again over the top of the cage from Ben Mayer. Now it's McKenna. Turns, shoots, and scores. And Ohio State is on the board first. Jack McKenna with his 9th of the season.
Number 27 in red, Jack McKenna. Just a strong take to his right hand. Nothing complicated about this, just getting up the hash.
Right, it's not just the one guy, the goalkeeper. Their defense has been stellar in front of him.
Yeah, and that's been a consistent theme for Ohio State over the years, just being very fundamentally sound defensively. And this year, their leader is Bobby Van Buren. He's a bona fide PLL draft pick.
Penalty coming up on Johns Hopkins. It doesn't matter as Marinier rips one through to make it 2-0 Buckeyes.
Talking about Van Buren being bona fide. How about Marinier, the goal scorer? This is his 35th goal of the year. Just great job setting up in the slot right there, off ball.
Mike Toto able to get it here for Ohio State, just 4 of 11 on the season for him. Dylan McGee controls it. McGee in front, shot, score. The one-timer, and a flag is down as White puts it through. Liam White took a hit, scores it for Ohio State, 3-0.
Dylan McGee shaking and baking here, drawing that Hopkins defense. We know those slides are going to come early, but then it's Liam White catching that pass.
We're halfway through this first quarter. Gannon Matthews for Ohio State. Stutter step, takes it in, shoots, and the save is made. Good job there by Jelinas.
On top of the crease, too, that's not an easy save to make. Perhaps that's what's going to allow this Hopkins offense to then get settled in and feel like they can take a step offensively here. They haven't really done that in this first quarter.
Brooks English here up to Collison. And now the shot and the score from Dylan Bauer. That looked much better.
And this is why lacrosse is a beautiful game. You get a stop down there by Jelinas. You feel that momentum. Ball comes down offensively. You build off of it. Great ball movement. Collison just getting that ball down to Bauer. Yeah, and we see Chuck Rawson, number 51 in white. He's got a short stick. I would love to see him go from that corner versus Ari Allen here.
Here's Rawson. Feeds it in front. The shot and the save from Fyock on the offering that time from Brooks English. And he's going to get it back.
For that shot, Collison, it's either got to go in or it's got to go out. You see it, it's inches away from going in. I don't mind that at all. Out of bounds, reset for the Hopkins offense.
Okay. Rawson again, spins it back in front. Another one, there it is. And it's Eric Chick falling down. The bouncer goes through, and the Blue Jays are within 1.
This is a massive, massive goal for this Hopkins offense. They've been testing Fyock all game long. A team that's not mature would get rattled.
One-on-one defense, not too bad so far here for the Blue Jays.
And for the Blue Jays, a much different defensive style than the Buckeyes. You see, they'll sit back and they'll hedge.
Marnier's shot, it was saved by Jelinas, but Ohio State gets it back, and now an unsettled situation. They're going to score as Marnier gets it back and fires it through. That's tough, too, because Jelinas made the save, just wasn't able to clean it up in front.
Tough on Jelinas. Beautiful offense out of Ohio State here. Just watch Jelinas trying to pick this up. Just an unfortunate little bounce there. Ohio State's able to get that ground ball, Ed Sheehan, and then just getting that ball around, getting in and out of their stick quickly. Marnier's the beneficiary on the backside.
When do you want to try to go here? 22 seconds left.
I would say that they can go at any time they want, but don't force it. If you don't have it, don't take the unnecessary shot.
That's not a bad shot. That's off the post, though, that time by Brooks English. And it's all the way up to midfield. Kept in nicely that time by Colby Wishar. The clock is down to 5 seconds to go. And Big Tasty for Ohio State. And the Buckeyes stop that one. Working it behind the cage, Cannon Matthews. Reverses direction, gets inside of his defender, shoots, and a save from Jelinas. Check. Who scored the goal here today with Dylan Bauer, the 2 for the Blue Jays. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Bauer behind the net, the feed in front. Oh, what a play! Score it for Chick on the feed from behind the net, and the shot clock was at 5. Charlie Eiler found him, and it's a 1-goal game once again.
What an unbelievable handle out of Chick inside. I really don't even know how he caught this ball. That's such a small window out of Eiler.
I think Greg Langermeyer, the senior, was right there in front of him. I don't even know where the window was for him to be able to catch and shoot that ball. And now they win the faceoff here with Logan Callahan. He goes in and shoots, and the save from Fyock. And it is picked up by Ohio State here with Bobby Van Buren. Eiler. Collison and Chavette. Chavette, he gets in front, he shoots, and Fyock got a piece of it. Recovers it. Being hounded by Ari Allen. Eiler. Here comes a slide, and he gets away, gets in front, he shoots, and Fyock got another save, diving down his 6th of the day. And that's why he's 2nd in the nation in goals against average and 1st in save percentage. Shane O'Leary here for Ohio State on the feed, on the shot, the score, it's Marnier. Hat trick today here in the 2nd.
Marnier just always seems to be in the right spot at the right time. Themselves to get deep into the possessions. It was something that we talked about with Coach Moman this week. One part was unforced turnovers on the offensive side of the ball, but the other part was playing into deep possessions, allowing their defense to take breaks.
Opportunity here, Fyock on the save from Chavette. They had to put it on as the shot clock was down to 5 again. It's a loose ball, and it's picked up by the Blue Jays. They'll have another crack at it. Call him Big Tasty. He's been standing strong as he has been all season. Another one. His 8th save and the 5th here in this 2nd quarter. Hard one to take there for Johns Hopkins. Ohio State now has a chance to double up their advantage here. Double up the Blue Jays. 5-3, 2nd quarter. Nice move, inside shot, score, Ben Mayer. Falling down, puts it in. His first goal today, his 10th of the season, and it is now 6-3 Ohio State.
And this is just high-level offense out of the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's Van Mayer getting to the front of the cage, soaking the hit.
And now here he is, as you said, as a sophomore at Ohio State, really took a huge step this year. Blue Jays. Pass in front, another save from Fayok, and it was that time Stuart Phillips for the Blue Jays in the last game against Rutgers. That's the most this season. Here's Matthews. Nice, getting the shot free was Alex Marinier for his 4th today. Too much space there, Jules.
Way too much space for Marinier. I said it earlier, Mike. He's just always in the right spot. Always in the right spot. And unlike on the Hopkins team right now, their shooters are not shooting with this kind of conviction. Watch Marinier. He catches this ball. He knows for a fact that he's getting this on cage and he's gonna bury it. And you have to credit that to growing up in Canada and the amount of touches you get as a box lacrosse player. They're just at such an advantage over a lot of American players, and just the opportunities they have to get those shots off over the course of their development.
Yeah, agreed on all that too, and just the way this team is playing overall too. Everybody's playing with confidence, including this guy again, Marinier. He's got 5, and right on cue, Jules, the way you said it, and he shows us again.
There was a player a few years back at Ohio State, I'm sure you know the name, Trey Leclerc. I played against Trey Leclerc, he's a PLO player now. It looks like he's shooting the ball like Trey Leclerc would shoot the ball.
Tack on another. Now you got 20 seconds remaining here. Jimmy Ayers, ball's loose down in front of the cage. Fayok, and he's going to get it. There's still time here. He's got 10 saves on the day. The outlet pass picked up by Johnny Cool. Here's Cool for Ohio State. He shoots, and the save is made by Jelinas to hold it at an 8-3 game. Track, because you see face-off wins and numbers all the time, and if it doesn't relate to a goal, then what's the sense of it sometimes? Here's a whistle, or here's a flag. It's going to be a delayed penalty. Now they're going to call it, and it's coming up on Ohio State. See if they can get something here. Chavette. English. Back over to Chavette. Down low, shot, save, Fayok, another one. And this time on the rebound. Can't stop that one. And the Blue Jays and Rawson put it through.
Tremendous skip pass out of Charlie Eiler there. The one more pass out of Chavette.
Bowers got it. And also out there for the Blue Jays, Stuart Phillips. Check. In front, turnaround shot, scoring. It's Ayers. That's tough to see.
Eric Chick, watch yourself. That little hesitation, we'll see. This is subtle. Right there. Drops the Ohio State defender and then finds his teammate on the crease. Ayers. That was nifty.
Stop this little run, at least for the time being. McKenna. Jack McKenna. Turns, shoots, and he scores and gets it right back for the Buckeyes.
Mike, this is a carbon copy of Jack McKenna's first goal we saw in the first quarter, where he's just too big, too strong, just getting up the hash there, leaning in on number 6 for Johns Hopkins.
Yeah.
He could have held on to that for a half more second just to build up that confidence that he's had this whole game, but he rushed that one.
And this one's going to go in here for Johns Hopkins from Brooks English.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky. And against Caleb, Big Tasty Fyock, you got to get some of these.
We want to see different from him out of the second half.
I just get involved more. I just want to see him have the ball in his stick. Every time he seems to have it, something good happens. Whether he drew the penalty last time, that assist he had there, I didn't even know he had that in his bag. If he could pass like that, we want to see him dodging more and more.
Right. Fyock was able to clean it up, and he does a really good job of that too this season in ground balls. He's over 30 on the campaign, and sometimes everyone else is fighting for it. He's just like, boom, I got it. In front, shot, score it, and the Buckeyes with Garrett Haas. It's that transition again.
Just fundamentally sound lacrosse here, Mike. Ohio State pushing transition. Number 34, Blake Island to Marinier, and then Haas is the beneficiary on the crease. Just a little bit of a pump high, wrap his hands, extend.
Like Greg Langermeyer. Good clean hit. Now it's Ayers behind the cage. That didn't have the angle, it's way off. It's going to stay though with Johns Hopkins. Over there closest to it was Idler.
Love to see a little bit of a two-man game action. Yep, exactly. Ayers goes set one for Eiler, potentially get a step or a switch.
Oh, Eiler, nice move in front. He shoots and scores. Got in front of Kyle Foster that time, and a nice move to put one through for the Blue Jays.
This Blue Jays offense is at their best when they spread Ohio State out. Don't let Ohio State pack it in and slide to them as aggressively as they have been. Here we put two men behind the cage. It's Ayers and Eiler. And Eiler just getting in front of the cage here, absorbing the contact. Right, it's right there, absorbs that contact out of Foster. And it was just only a matter of time. They had to stick with it. They've come out in the second half with tremendous energy and just a different kind of fight in them.
Chauvet up top here for Collison. Looking, nice feed in front, the shot to score from Bauer. Dylan Bauer, and he's made it a two-goal game.
There's that tremendous vision that we saw before out of Collison. He does it again here with his right hand.
Mayer behind the back, no. And Haas closest to it. 24 seconds on the shot clock. Haas, he shoots, he scores. Unleashing right off the restart, and the Buckeyes get one back here.
And Mike, it just felt like eventually one of these was gonna go. Garrett Haas getting up the hash with his left hand. No slide in sight for the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. That's unlike them. That little flick of the wrist, just getting past goal line extended.
Ohio State, Griffin Turner. Behind the net here. Taz gets in front and he scores. That is 3 in a row by him for Ohio State, and they take a 4-goal lead.
The sophomore Garrett Haas out of Fairview, Texas with a massive take. This is a sophomore stepping up in a Big Ten game here, taking his defender to the rack.
Perfect day too for lacrosse, by the way, right? In the mid-60s. Not too hot, not too cold. Not a crazy wind here, right?
And the weather is holding up perfectly. And Collison's getting to his left hand.
Fyock on the save. And goes down. Is he okay? Caleb Fyock is still down. That's his 12th save of the day.
They're very happy if you're an Ohio State Buckeye fan to see Fyock get back on the field so quickly. Again, just speaks to his toughness, his leadership. He doesn't want to sit on the sideline. He wants to be in this game. This is a very important contest for the Ohio State Buckeyes to get out of here with a win.
A push is called on Johns Hopkins. It'll keep it here with Ohio State as it was knocked down for the moment by Jack Webb in goal for the Blue Jays. And he has been the backup here in today for Orange and Linus, who started this game. Remember, Luke Stout, who's the normal starter, had a concussion at Syracuse a few games back. That was 4 games ago. And we were told was warming up and did practice this week, but is not in action today. They're hoping to get him back as well. So this ball is taken away by the Blue Jays. Yeah, with the injury having to stop play, he has to come out. And then, of course, he was like, okay, I'm doing all right. I can go right back in. It was just great to see him be able to come right back in, that it wasn't more serious than that as he makes a save, and it seems to be okay. 5 goals today, for number 5 for Ohio State. It's behind the net. For Haas, who has the last 3 for the Buckeyes. Number 2, back to Marinier, too much space. And we've seen it now 6 times today.
Mike, I don't know what to say at this point about Alex Marinier. First of all, the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays cannot keep giving him this much space. I know he's pulling that double team down, but you have to recognize, if you're Johns Hopkins, who you're leaving to go double team the ball with, because they're completely different. But Chauvet is the gunslinger, the higher gunslinger, lefty. It's Collison, but Chauvet leads them in terms of goals on this side, lefty. And then you have Marinier on this side.
And you also have this with Gannon Matthews for Ohio State, as they now have their largest lead of the day at 6, 14-8.
And it's starting to feel like momentum has just completely shifted away from the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. McKenna with a strong up the hash take again with his head up this time. But they're very tough when they do slide to, so you have to make sure you're prepared for that. Otherwise, the ball is going to be on the floor.
Let me ask this in terms of defensively and sliding coming in. You know, you have your game plan, you have your knowns. Traditionally, and here comes a flag as Fayak goes down again.
But the word that comes to mind for this Ohio State defense is just connected.
Yeah.
They're tough, they're connected, they're led by Fayak in the cage, but you just feel a sense of brotherhood. And Myers talked about it, but you're seeing it in real time happen here today.
They called it a hold of 30 seconds, so extra man opportunity here for Hopkins. We haven't had many today. Fayak on the save. Liam Burke is in. 19 in white, he has it. Burke being hounded, going down. Oh, the pickup, the shot, and the score for Eric Chick. They'll take it.
You hear the band playing. Eric Chick, number 10. Again, right place, right time. The Johns Hopkins Blue Jays put one away.
So over the course of this possession right now, we haven't really seen Collison attack his matchup from that top left corner where the big sign is. I would have loved to see him catch the ball as Rawson.
Well, Bauer gets it in front for Rawson, who does score it here. With 2:02 to go. Continue.
Might just be a little bit too late at this point. Rawson catches that ball on the inside, showcasing his stick handling ability off the tremendous feed from Dylan Bauer, just finding him there, that little twister.
No goals, had an assist earlier in the first quarter and then had one in the third. It was a really good job by this Blue Jays team to start the third quarter. They scored 3 of the first 4 goals. There's Fayak once again, talking about a good job. He has 15 saves in this game today. If you're tuning in for Florida-Arkansas softball, that is going to start on ESPN News. Florida-Arkansas softball beginning right now on ESPN News. And we'll get you to that as soon as we are done here with this one. Just a minute, 20 seconds left.
He's loose, he's relaxed, but then he's also serious, and he locks in as a sophomore. For him to be able to command the defense the way that he does, it's really special.
Yep. Coach Myers, in his 17th season at Ohio State,